So these are my gorgeous cotton jerseys that I'll be working with to make these pyjamas. I have everything cut out, and this is my tops pile and this is my bottoms pile. These are my leg cuffs, my drawstring cutouts, my waistbands. I ended up cutting 2 of the same one, so I was going to do one purple and then one wildflower, but I just chose to do both of them wildflower. Here's my pockets, same thing. I was going to do one purple, one wildflower, but then I just chose to do both of them wildflower pattern. Then I've got the actual back and front patterns for the trousers, one plain purple and then one wildflower. Now these are my neckbands, my sleeves. I ended up running out of the purple fabric. I was going to do 2 purple sleeves, but I ended up only being able to do 1, but it worked out great anyway, who cares. Now these are my wrist cuffs. And then the front and back bodices, one purple and then one wildflower. I'm going to start with the pocket pieces and get those ones done first. So the first step is to sew that straight panel down. I make my line at 2 centimeters so that when I fold it, it's only 1 centimeter. And we do the same on the other side. And this is the result that I want. So when I fold it to the line, it looks like this. But before I do that, I overlock it just so that there's no folding, because this fabric likes to roll in on itself. So these are the parts I overlock. I've ironed all those pieces down so that I don't need to use any pins. Thought that'd be easier. But you can use pins, whatever's comfortable. I have a secret tip that I do. So I do a very close stitch, close to the edge stitch, so that when I'm actually sewing the pocket onto the trousers, I don't have to worry about folding in the overlocked edge. It's all going to be folded away for me with that stitch. And then when I go on to stitching the pocket, I just go over that same stitch, so you won't know that I've done that. So I've sewn the entrance to the pocket down with a twin stitch. And now I will sew those overlocked edges down. I don't use pins with this either, because I'm literally just folding in that overlocked edge. So I push it right to the top, see how I've done it there. And then I do a very, very close stitch, so it's a 3mm seam allowance. So this is where it ends up looking like. It does look a bit stretched out, but I promise it will work out eventually. I could put those pockets away for just a little bit because now I need to sew my crotches down. Now I have my 2 front pieces ready to sew on the pockets. Don't forget to make sure that the opening of the pocket is facing outwards. I always make silly mistakes, so I have to double check that I'm doing everything correctly. The marks that I'm making here are 1 centimeter. You'll see why I do this. While you're pinning, make sure that the pocket is as completely flat as possible, including the actual front of the trousers. Make sure that there's no folds or anything like that. You want it to be all flat because you don't want to have any ripples or anything like that. You just want it to be completely straight. So I've repeated the process on the wildflower front trousers. So now I'm going to show you how I sew it. So I just follow that same line I made earlier while I was sewing the overlocked section down. Now that the pockets are done, I'm going to put the back of the trousers together with the front of the trousers. And I'm going to sew the straight line all the way down the sides, and then I'm going to do the crotch as well, all at the same time. Now that I've done those, I need to add my waistband and my cuffs. Here's my waistband and my cuffs. So I use a 2-inch or 5 centimeter elastic for my projects when I do my trousers. This is how I put an elastic into a separate waistband. So I always put the seam line of the waistband to the back of the trousers. And now to install the cuffs so that I can just sew everything all at one time. And I always put the cuff seam in line with the inside seam of the trousers. Now that I've done these steps on both of the trousers, I'm adding a drawstring, but it's not going to be a real drawstring, it's just a decorative one. This is completely optional, don't have to do this, don't even have to put in the pockets. But I wanted pockets because I like to carry my phone around with me when I'm chilling in the house or doing my housework. So this is how I do my drawstrings. It's essentially just a bias and then I just sew it onto the trousers to make it look like a drawstring. Now that they've been ironed, it's time to sew them down. Now it's time to sew it onto my waistband. Now that both of my trousers are complete, I need to move on to my tops. The first thing I need to do is put the front and back bodices together and sew the shoulder seams. When that's done, I put the sleeves in place. It's always a good idea to iron the shoulder seams down as well. I've sewn the sleeves on, so now I want to install my neckband and then sew the sleeves and bodice connecting the underarm. Time to put in the cuffs and neckband. That's all done. I like to top stitch my neckbands even when I'm not top stitching anything else. I also like to iron the cuffs down as well. And my last step is always hemming. I don't have a cover stitch machine, so this is how I hem. I have to draw a line where I want the fabric to fold up to. I pin or clip in place and then I stitch with my regular sewing machine. For jerseys, I always use a twin stitch because then it's able to stretch with the jersey. So here's how I use my twin needle stitching on my regular sewing machine. So it's all done and it can be styled 4 different ways. Thank you for watching my video, hope you enjoyed it.